Sync. Welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. I'm Magician, he's Gokuss. Last time, these two assholes have been trying to peer pressure us to join the student council. Isn't it cool? It's the ultimate form of competition between two people, He-chan. No! The ultimate form of competition between two people is to see who can make the other person come first.
I don't know how I knew you were gonna go there with that.
It's also played by elementary and middle school children, He-chan. Wah ha ha. That means it's a game that really separates the boys from the men. Yeah. More like the boys from the slightly older boys. Anyways, I'm not going to play that either. Just the fact that you know about it means you're probably surprisingly good at it. Ha ha ha. Yeah, that's true. How did you know, He-chan? Shizune frowns at Misha, telling me that she probably wasn't supposed to admit that so readily. I wouldn't say that I'm happy with their attempts to get me into the student council, but I'm a little curious about what the student council does here. No! No, you're not, Hisao! No! Get those thoughts out of your head! I've never been on one before, and you never will, hopefully. Or even known anybody who was a member, so it interests me. I also kind of like Shizune and Misha, so maybe it wouldn't be that bad. No! 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 Bad! ... Okay, He-chan, how about Risk? The game of world domination. Great, so now we're with two evil masterminds. I don't know what that is. It's really fun, He-chan. You fight for control of the world with armies and everything. It sounds like Shizune would be good at it. If you want to play, we can after school. ... Really, Shi-chan? We can just play for fun, He-chan. Shi-chan hasn't played in a long time, so if you want to, there are no strings attached. Bullshit. Well, okay. Okay. Perfect. We'll see you after school in the student council room then, He-chan. Wait, why there? Because that's where we keep the game.
Oh god.
Wahahaha. Great.
They're gonna lock us in there and force us to join.
Or they're going to lock us in there and de-glove us.
Oh god.
I grimace to tell them how much I do not like this, but it's more for show than anything. So in the end, I agree. But only after getting Shizune to acknowledge that I don't mean anything concrete just by accepting, to take a look around and play a game with her. Lunch ends and we go back to class. During afternoon class, the long-haired girl comes back and sits down in her seat without a word.
I kinda wanna go for her.
Again, no one seems to notice, or if they do, no one says anything. I want to ask Misha about it, but I don't want to be nosy. After school, Shizune and Misha quickly find me by the first floor lobby and latch onto me, covering each flank in case I might try to escape. We're being kidnapped. Help! Help! I'm being oppressed! We're being oppressed!
It's the demons!
I feel a little offended, but I'd been considering it. Nevertheless, I'm a bit disturbed that enough people have made a break for it in the past that they're on their guard. What's with the escort? This doesn't make me feel very comfortable. In fact, it makes me feel like a dangerous prisoner being transported to a cell.
Like I told you, we're going down to that basement.
Wahahaha, what's wrong, He-chan? ... That's right, we're just going to play a game of Risk, remember? I don't know, Misha, this all seems a little sinister to me. I start thinking that when we sit down to play the game, they'll tie me down and torture me until I agree to join the student council.
I called it.
He's like the embodiment of us in just a slightly lighter tone. Well, that's highly unlikely, but still, for some reason, it just seems like it would be so plausible. Getting to the student council room is as simple as turning 2 corridors from where we started. What, that's it? This makes you guys being so on top of me seem a little silly. ... That's not true, He-chan. Shi-chan says that when their life is threatened, people have shown the capability to pull off superhuman bursts of speed.
How do they know this?
Life is threatened? Her expression unchanging, Misha signs something amusedly to Shizune, who makes a baffling face and puts her hands behind her back, looking pleased with herself. Misha feigns deafness and hums cheerily. Stop that, I know you heard me. You have no excuse, unlike Shizune. Shizune opens the door to the student council room. It is a very plain, sparsely decorated room, although it is quite large, maybe even larger than a classroom. There's a big table in the center surrounded by chairs, and a smaller desk prominently placed in the back that I assume is Shizune's. There are a couple of regular desks and chairs stacked to one side, as well. Extras, perhaps? Aside from the tables and chairs, the room doesn't have much else to offer, just a couple of filing cabinets and bookshelves stacked with old school records and documents. Not much else. In fact, nothing else. This is a pretty bleak room. They could at least put a potted plant in here or something, but the most noticeable thing that this room doesn't have is other people. Are we early? ... No. What do you mean no? Does it mean no one else is coming today? ... Yeah, that's right. We're the only members. Before I manage to ask why that's the case, Shizune claps her hands together very energetically. ... Hee-chan, let's play Risk. Come on, you promised, didn't you? You have to. Ha ha ha. Okay. Do you want to know the rules? We can explain to you while we set everything up. While Misha is talking, Shizune takes out what looks like a board game from behind one of the filing cabinets and throws it on the table. Can't we just play Monopoly? Actually, this looks kind of interesting. Yeah, because they already know what the fuck they're doing and they're gonna tell us vague rules. Holy shit, I didn't even read the thing and it already says vague in that. After Misha spends a little too long for her liking running around through the basics with a somewhat vague and confusing tutorial, Shizune cuts in and declares the game has started with a very decisive moment slicing her arm through the air. Great, so they're cheating. Shizune's aggressiveness is rubbing off onto me. I start feeling more competitive than I intend to be when I agree to this. So, aggressive. Think that transfers into the bedroom? Halfway into the game, while I try to ponder how to defend against Shizune's assault from two fronts, she breaks my concentration by drumming her fingers on the table to get my attention. Stop, you whore! ... Hee-chan, Shi-chan wants you to know that you're taking too long to make a move. Well, you guys should have gave me the actual rules. Shi-chan also says that she will let you keep Australia if you agree to join the student council. I thought this was a game with no strings attached. Just the fact that she would dangle that over my head as an offer means that she knows I care about the outcome of this game. And anyways, no! ... Shi-chan admires your fighting spirit, and would be a benevolent dictator who will spare your people if you agree to join the student council. Ha 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 ha. You're so competitive, Shizune. She seems to take this as a compliment. I would expect the student council president to be a little more magnanimous. Whatever the fuck. I don't care. It's like 2 a.m., okay? You can't blame us for mispronouncing words anymore. Magnanimous? She doesn't seem to know what the word means or how it's signed, so she pulls out a piece of paper and writes it for Shizune, who in return signs it back to Misha. Misha presses her index fingers against her temples, as if trying to physically imprint the word into her memory. ... Suddenly, Shizune bursts into a flurry of hand seals and fires a fire dragon at us.
Oh god.
Bursts into a flurry of gestures. Misha looks daunted by the pace of her heated signing. Wait, please slow down, Shi-chan. He-chan, Shi-chan says you're going to lose. Tell her I will crush her world empire with my rebellion. Okay. Those eyes of hers shine with childlike mischief and looks like a cat. ...
Looks like she has cat ears.
She says you have no chance if you keep playing this like this. No, you won't. Are we gonna be aggressive or it's a trap? Fuck it, this whore keeps trying to get us to join the student council. Attack, right?
Alright.
She is either really mocking me or trying to trick me. I have nothing else to lose, though, so I might as well try something different. Maybe if I spread out my forces and try to control more territories, I can recoup the advantage. No, you can't! That's stupid!
Wait, we chose this path, man.
Yeah, but I didn't think he'd do something that stupid. I thought he was going to go ahead and attack her smaller fortresses. Shizune seems to focus on conquering whole nations, so maybe I can sacrifice my hold on continents to gain more small countries. It's worth a shot. A few turns later, I end up losing the game anyways. Shizune adjusts her glasses victoriously and allows herself to tentatively pump a fist in the air in celebration. Bitch. Dot dot dot. I win, yay! Did she actually say yay?
Yeah, I guess, I don't know.
There's no need to translate that, it was pretty clear. Wahaha, don't look so sad, He-chan, you were really giving your best, that's what I thought. Sometimes your best just isn't good enough, though. If anyone knows that, it's me. You did very well for someone who just learned how to play today. Dot dot dot. He-chan, you attacked Iceland and North America at the same time. That's a very daring move. She-chan is impressed. Dot dot dot. The mark of great people is that they are daring and that they can follow through. You're already halfway there, isn't that great, He-chan? Now all you do is have to join the student council. Dot dot dot. That isn't enough, though. Just potential is enough. There is no point to potential if you don't take the first step, and there's no point to that if you don't keep going. I want to see more. Now join the student council. You're right, Chi-chan, but that's so demanding. Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. Dot 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 dot. Shizune suddenly leans forward, suddenly looking a lot less playful and more like the serious person I expected her to be from the start. Her eyes half-lidded. She starts undoing her blouse. Dot dot dot. He-chan, would you like to join the student council? No! She really doesn't waste any time, does she? But it's only my second day of school, so I'm hesitant about committing to something so early. I haven't even taken any look at any of the other clubs yet, but spending time with Shizune and Misha doesn't seem like something I would hate. No, Hisao, no! I still need more time to think about before I decide for sure. Maybe I'll get back to you on it. Dot dot dot. Okay, He-chan, but I hope you're not just saying that so we don't feel bad. I've told you no many times and you haven't fucking let up. No, really. Really. He-chan, if you're going to say that, you're saying that it is definitely the truth and there can't be any mistaking it. I know, I guess I should have my revenge for losing at the very least. Shizune smiles in that mischievous way that feels like twisting the knife in the wound of my loss. I take a glance at the clock on the wall and realize I've spent far longer playing Risk than I expected. Sorry, I think I have to go. I wanted to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it? Shizune scratches her head and gestures to Misha. How hard can it be to determine whether the library is open? There's a clock right there on the wall. Dot dot dot. It should be, unless the librarian is absent. I think you're right, Shi-chan. We think the library is open. It's on the second floor. Can't miss it. Do you want us to show you where it is? No thanks. It's okay. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Run like hell. Run! One flight of stairs up and I run into problems. The second floor hallway is a carbon copy of the third floor one.
It's even got a creepy painting of its own.
Wide, of course, and plain, like only hallways can be. The problem is that the library's whereabouts are not as easily determined as one would think. The classrooms are marked with signs stating which class they belong to, but then there is a plethora of other unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them, or is it just somewhere down the hallway? I bet on the latter and choose my direction at random. After I turn around a corner, an unmarked door draws my attention because it's not closed. It's not open either, though. It's just barely ajar, so that I can see it open and nothing else. It would make sense for the library to be invitingly open, and while this one is not quite that, it's good enough. At the very least, it means that someone is inside and I can ask for directions, no matter how embarrassing that is. Unless they're changing. He found the girls' locker room. I gingerly push on the center of the door with my fingertips, every muscle in my arms ready to pull back at a moment's notice. The feeling of being an outsider to the school can't be shaken from my mind, so much so that I instinctively fear doing something wrong by entering. The door slowly creaks as if groaning from a deep sleep, though it is much easier to open than I'd anticipated. The girls shriek, topless boobs bouncing everywhere as they beat me up.
If only.
Leaning over and poking my head even further inside to gain sight of the room as fast as possible, the meek hello on my lips is quickly snatched away. This is not as I was expecting. I mindlessly let the door open to its full extent, taking in the sight of the solitary figure taking center stage in the otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing at the doorway staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently, having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes, but doesn't look at me. Why, hello there. May I help you? Staring directly in front of her, the movements of her lips seem to break the silence rather than the words. However, it's the soft, measured voice that reminds me she's a separate being from the room itself. Not only is she likely the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, but even among the foreigners I've met, she's strikingly distinct. Hi. Sorry for intruding. I was just kind of lost. She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if it is carefully choreographed beforehand. Care to take a seat? Oh god, Chris Hansen. Unexpected, considering that I'm intruding upon her. Thanks. I slowly step toward another seat opposite of her, the girl resting the teacup and saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements with her head is telling. That and the slight cloudiness to her eyes means she must be at least partially blind, like Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. The calming atmosphere is so very different from the student council office. I take it you're a new student to Yamaku? Yeah, I just transferred in yesterday. I get the distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers, accentuated by her restrained bow of greeting. One which I hasten to match before realizing the futility of the action. I'm Lily Sato. Pleased to meet you. Hisao Nakai. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup. Would you care for a drink? I swear it's not like Tiara from Fairy Fencer and Poisoned. Sure. Oops, spoiler. As much as it pains me, I can't keep step with her formality in the proceedings. She gives me a kind nod, taking the request in stride. Without another word, she steps off the chair and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along a shelf. A brush here, a brush there. Her left hand often lightly touching the side of whatever container she's pouring into. It seems to be a process she's followed dozens of times before. As I lean sideways to see around her back, she seems to use her long, dainty finger to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Shizune and Misha have no problems working together to communicate to me, and Lily herself seems to have workarounds for problems I'd never thought of. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of the offerer preparing the drink. So, her soft voice brings me out of my silent observance. Which room were you looking for? It's not often this classroom is visited after school. The school library. Shizune and some classmates told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring water into the teacup as she nods, a small metallic tapping coming from the teacup indicating it's being stirred. I'm aware of Miss Hakamichi, as are most students. To be with them means you're in class 3-3, no? That's right, in the science room with Mutao. She gives a small giggle before setting down the teaspoon and slowly walking towards the table, teacup and saucer in hand. He's quite a character. I imagine you'll come to like him. Most do. Well, yeah, I mean, his trench coat's badass. Who wouldn't like him? As she sets down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person, but this seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. Yup, see, I'm liking his sound more and more. Nonetheless, the smell's quite nice. I hardly think it'd be hard to choke down. Thanks, Sato. It tastes really nice. She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face. Lily, please, there's no need to be too formal. She says this in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech. Oh well. I guess I should try and ask her about herself, as it does seem as if she's catering to me. And next time on Katawa Shoujo.